decent.
Ready to rock? Oh, what's poppin', everybody? It's Amanda.
This is Cursed.
And today we have an artsy motherfucker on today. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is Matthias. Where do I look?
Wherever you want.
Whatever you want, man.
My name is Matthias. My name is Matthias, and I go by the Half Decent.
Yeah,
I guess most people would know me as the Half Decent.
Yeah, which is cheeky to
Yeah.
name yourself like.
Well, there's me.
I'm all right.
Yeah, and it keeps me humble. You know,
Does it?
it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm half decent.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because when people are like, oh my God, I love this. This is amazing. Like your close circle, you know,
Yeah.
kind of keeps you humble. Where you're like, okay.
That's fair. That's why I went with Dirty Ginge. Keeps me humble. You know what I mean?
Always
Like,
keep
you
yourself
said
in
Dirty
check.
Ginge. What's that?
Always keep yourself in check.
Always keep myself in check. Yeah, naturally. What do you go by? Oh, Dirty Ginge.
They're like, oh, I see why.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you know. Anyways, next question.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, Curse, let me know that you're not from here.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't from here.
No,
Where are you from?
I've been all over the place. So I was born in Switzerland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the mountain. So
Excuse me.
So I lived on the Swiss Alps until I was 11.
What the fuck?
I used to have to take the gondola up to my house every day.
Are you
So
s-
after 5:15, the gondola shut down. Which it sounds cool, but it was at the time it was kind of like all your
Inconvenient.
friends go play and like go to the park after school, and you're like, oh, it's 5:15.
Gotta
And
get
then
to
I'd
the
be at the top
gondola.
of the mountain with binoculars. I'm like, what are they doing down there?
You're kidding.
No, it's serious. Yeah, I can show you photos. Like it's
Yeah. Afterwards, I want to see. That's insane. I've never heard somebody that. That's a weird struggle to have to go through.
yeah,
Was it
Gotta
fucking?
make the last gondola.
yeah. And I always pushed it to like the last one. You know, I'm like, oh, how long can I stay?
What would happen if you didn't make it?
That's what I was just about to ask.
Well, I mean, there's the little gondolas. They shut down at 5:15, but there was like one big one that was for like supplies and stuff. So you could take that one, but it was like a big ordeal to
Hop
get that
on
one
it?
going. Yeah.
You just hop on it like a fucking train or something. Like,
Yeah, you
ah.
just go. Boom.
Yeah.
1,800 meters above sea level.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy.
So you lived there until you were 11 in the mountain.
Yeah.
Imagine having to take it like your wife is having a fucking baby and you're like, come on, let's get on the gondola.
Yeah.
Hurry! You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was- or like in the mornings too, like when there was snowstorms and shit going to school.
Up in the
Oh, it
mountains.
was horrible. You know, like crazy side wind when you're going to school, and it's like you're like holding on to the pole as you're going down. You're like, oh,
I fucking didn't even know this was a thing. This is
Yeah.
excellent.
This is real life.
This is
well,
real life.
for most people, it's not a thing, but
Wonder how many like countries and have to do shit like this. Like I don't think that in Madeira, my aunt is Portuguese and she's from Madeira, that there is anything like that.
In the islands, there's not anything like that. That's where my family's from.
Madeira or
Well, different Azores.
yeah. Anyways, that's very cool. So after 11, where were you going?
the life story.
Yeah, well, I
So-
want to know how
so-
you led up to tattooing and why you're here.
So when I was 11, we moved here to,
Oh, okay.
to Toronto. And but it was basically like starting over though. My family, my brother, my mom, my dad, and I, and 2 cats at the time. Moved here. I didn't speak English.
Oh yeah.
I had braces, frosted tips, and glasses.
What? Frosted tips.
A recipe for success starting in grade 7.
Yeah, but that's what you do in grade 7. How
Yeah,
old? How old?
it was horrible. Like going to school, right? It was like they sent me to English as like a ESL school, English as a second language. See, now I'm sweating.
Yeah, get it.
And yeah, it was horrible. Like it was just like you leave all your friends behind. You got to start over,
Yeah, that would be intense.
learn the language, and it just.
What was the reason for coming over?
So I grew up in a ski resort, actually,
That lines up.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and then
Gondola makes sense.
and then things didn't work out, and I ended up. Well, it just we'll say it just didn't work, and then we
Yeah.
moved here. So
Fair.
kind of start over again.
Yeah.
And so you've said you've traveled elsewhere. Is
Yeah,
that for
I mean-
tattooing or just in general you're a traveler?
No, before I started tattooing, actually. So when I was 20, I moved to Spain,
By yourself?
to Barcelona, yeah. And it was one of those things where like I went to school. I went to Halifax for school when I was 19, to art school.
Oh yeah.
And I had this crazy revelation during a mushroom trip when
Fuck yes.
when like all of a sudden I realized it took me 2 years to get into the school, and then maybe like halfway through the year I realized I'm like I don't need school to do art stuff,
Yeah.
you know. So I dropped out, and then the goal was to kind of travel through Europe, start in Spain, work my way up and around, and then come back down, and then decide what I want to do.
Okay, is that what you did?
So I started in Spain, and I was supposed to stay 3 days. I ended up spending all of my money. I had no return flight. Ended up spending all my money. I was partying, just having a good time. 'Cause you're 21 or 20
Yeah.
or 21, right? So
No
it's
money
like,
skills.
yes, I'm in Spain. Like madness. No money skills. A lot of vandalism skills from graffiti. So, and that place, it was like
Oh.
a haven
right.
for graffiti.
Okay, so is that where you started your graffiti career? That's why I said you're artsy as fuck. Cause
No, that was, I think graffiti I started when I was 15, maybe.
oh, before.
Yeah. it
Before you went
was-
to Spain.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that why you went by Johnny Cakes before?
Yeah,
That was what you
part of
went
it.
for?
Well, I was a big stoner in high school. So I'd be all baked, and I'd be like, "Hey, Johnny Cakes," and like just like address people in a weird way. So with graffiti, there's the whole element of like being anonymous, right? Like you don't want people to know who you are,
Okay.
and so I don't know, I just picked a name. It was like I had a
Johnny
different
Cakes?
name that I write for graffiti, and then I came up with Johnny Cakes, which was like the artwork name. And then it just got confusing. Where it's like, okay, Johnny Cakes, Matthias, the other name, the half decent. So people would meet me and be like, "Oh, you're Matthias." I'm like, yeah. It's like, well, then who's the half decent? It's like, yeah, that's me also. But then that guy is Johnny Cakes. I'm like, no, that's also me. And it was just too confusing, so I dropped that.
Well, I remember the first time you tattooed me, I thought your name was Johnny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Because
too
of your
confusing.
graffiti. So that's your graffiti name.
No, my graffiti name's a different name. Which that's
oh my
don't
god.
say
you
that.
can't fucking
DL.
say
Yeah, we don't say that.
it.
We don't say that.
Right.
Well, that was like my vandalism name, right? Like where it was just like strictly illegal stuff, and
Yeah.
like Spain was the Barcelona was the perfect place for that. You show up, you just vandalize whatever the fuck you want.
Oh yeah.
Get into fights all the time, get arrested.
Fun.
Oh, it's amazing.
So when do tattoos come into that?
So
Part of your
so in Spain, I ended up staying for 3 years. I was supposed to stay 3 days.
3
no,
years?
no return flight, no money. Ended up getting a job, like cold calling, bartending. What else did I do? Just like odd jobs, right? A lot of people speak English because it's super touristy there. So
Okay.
just did whatever jobs I could get. And then I was a total degenerate, just partying, vandalism, and fights, basically.
Fuck fighting.
So I was just
As a career?
yeah, I probably could have at that point, but
Okay.
I was a degenerate. I got kicked out of, I think it was 14 apartments in 3 years.
Jesus.
And I was an asshole. Like I'd get a new apartment and I'd fucking spray paint the whole bedroom or something, and then not pay rent, and then they'd give me the boot like 4 months later. I'm like, all right,
Makes sense.
here's
Yeah.
your new
Adds up.
bedroom.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so
You were fucking living your best fucking life, to be fair.
Oh, there's
Do whatever you want
that's
in Barcelona.
the tip of the iceberg. But so the last place, I remember I got kicked out, and then I ended up bumping into a guy, and like I was just drinking like a madman too. It was just like all the
course.
time. And I remember doing my laundry at like a laundromat place.
Yeah.
And this random dude walked in, and he had paint on his bag. So we're doing laundry together, or whatever. I'm like, oh, nice. Oh, you have paint. And like, what do you do? And blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, we're like, yeah, let's go to the bar. Let's grab a drink while our clothes wash. And we just kind of hit it off. And then I didn't see him for maybe a year. And then a year after that, we were back in the laundry place. And then he was there again. And I had just gotten kicked out of my apartment. So I'm doing laundry, have nowhere to stay, and then he comes in, and we start talking, and I kind of tell him, and he's like, oh, like, you know, I have like, it was a tiny little closet. He's like, yeah, I have like a spare bedroom if you want to come crash for a couple days. And then his girlfriend also showed up, and she was this girl. She had like she was like, it's summer in Barcelona, right? She's wearing a jacket with like a hood up, like super dark kind of.
How mysterious.
And her and I hit it off, and we just were like, oh, cool. We go back to their place, smoke some weed. And then I ended up living with them for a year after that.
Huh.
In the little closet.
You're
Like,
kidding.
The room was so small that you couldn't even close the door when I was laying on the mattress on the floor. And then
And you did
her,
that for a year.
yeah, and it was cool. It was like super artsy, you know, like she was a crazy artist. She did this now. She did my elbow for me. But
Were they tattoo artists?
no, at that point, no.
Huh.
And then she ended up getting an apprenticeship with a guy in China who did like crazy abstract kind of black work stuff. And that was the first time where I was like, oh, whoa, like maybe tattooing is like something you could do, you know?
Yeah. For money, yeah.
Because I had no direction before that. Like it was just
So we're
partying
just kinda-
and fucking vandalism, basically. That was it. and then I ended up leaving because I just destroyed that city where like everywhere you went, you could see my tag. And I remember one time I was checking for cops for a buddy of mine that was painting, who's also a tattoo artist now. And cops rolled up, like, boom. I was just checking for cops while he's painting, and they came up. So he ran off, and I started walking, walked around the corner. And then all of a sudden, this bus pulls up beside me. The door swings open, and they grab me and pull me into the bus. And, like, drive around, and it's all just like masked up cops, and they drive around the block. We go back to where we were, and the guy opens the door, and he pulls me out. And he goes, he's like, points at my tags, and he goes, we know that's you. We're going to check all of the cameras, and when we see that this is you, you're going to pay for everything that you've done in the city.
What? Oh no! Tell me more.
Dun, dun, dun. So then after that, it was just like every single day they would just stop me. Because I had this like black and white checkered jacket all the time, right? It was covered in paint. I'm fucking 6'7", so I don't really blend in.
Yeah.
Start crouching when you walk.
Yeah, and so it's like down the street you could see me. And then after that, every day they would just stop me. Just random checks. Like, check my bag, I had spray paint, they would take it.
Yeah.
So it just got to the point where I was like, man, fuck this.
They didn't make you pay.
No, well, I left. I left
You
before.
fleed.
But it was whatever. It is what it is.
But surround when you left.
So
was
I
when
left,
they
and I've
started-
been back, and it's been good. Like there hasn't been any issue. I'm sure the
They don't
guy was
recognize you?
maybe like bluffing a little bit too, right?
Just to try
But,
to scare you or something.
Yeah,
to
but
make you stop?
that was like, okay, I think it's time, you know. And then I went from there to Panama, lived down in Panama for 5-6 months with my parents,
Oh yeah.
because I guess that like Panama, Latin America, Panama.
Okay.
And I guess that was kind of like to bring me back to earth after 3 years of just letting
Going
loose.
crazy.
And then I didn't do any graffiti for maybe 4 months. And then I started a job which was reviewing porn.
Pardon me.
Which and you know what the best part is, my parents hooked
didn't
me
know
up
it was a
with this job. Yeah.
How do you do this? Asking for a friend.
Because they didn't know. Like, it was a friend of a friend that was like, oh, yeah, your son wants to work. And I obviously didn't have papers. So, like, yeah, he could work here. It's like an internet job. So I'm like, so I show up. And the guy's all weird. He's like, so, like, you know what this job is about, right? And I'm like, no, like, some sort of
me.
internet stuff. He's like, yeah, like, pornography. Well, you basically review porn. Right? And,
For money.
And in my mind, I'm like, this is sick. What? Like, I pictured, like, high quality, like, smoking hot chicks doing porn all day, right? And then
Just 10 out of 10, all of them. Yes.
We're
Yeah.
Yes.
prerequisites.
More money.
hot,
Yes.
hot. When in reality, what
Weird
it was.
tit. 2 out of 10. Like, how do you rate
next.
it? Is there a rating process?
No, so what it was working for what was the page? I think it was called Adult Friend Finder.
Alrighty.
So
You got
basically,
that?
yeah, jot that down
Yeah.
for later.
in the memory bank. Yeah.
Multiple revenue streams. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I was like the early OnlyFans or something. No, so I started, and then soon I realized, I'm like, holy fuck, this is all like amateur shit. You know, like it's people chatting with each other, sending each other videos.
Oh,
And
so
you-
you're like spying on people.
Yeah, exactly. And you had to check to see that they weren't sending any like kid stuff or bestiality
Oh.
stuff.
What?
And you had to read all their email, their like messages to see that they wouldn't send their number or email, which would take them away from the website. Right. So anytime there was like an email in there, you'd have to delete it. So it went from
Was it
like
a decent paying job?
no, it was horrible. And it was so weird because you're sitting in this cubicle, and like there's a sea of cubicles, and you're looking around. You're like, every single person here is watching some fucked up porn.
Fucked up porn?
Well, it was amateur shit. So you like
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of depressed.
You were depressed.
I was kind of depressed going into that job from like coming down off like 3-4 years of just like high intensity adrenaline shit to just like the shit that people would send each other. It was just like it was fucked
So you
up.
got more depressed.
So I got more depressed. So I remember they had this screen up where it was like performance of like who's rated or reviewed how many. And I remember at the beginning, I was like, yeah, here we go. Like, I want to be at the top. And then
You had
like,
goals.
yeah, exactly.
Like, if I'm gonna do
I had
this-
ambition, you know?
Ambitious porn raider.
and then like 2 weeks in, I was at the bottom of the list. Like I had my window open, and then I would just watch YouTube skate videos basically the whole day, where it was just like 0 videos reviewed, and then like what's going
Doing
on with your
phenomenal.
performance? I'm
Not
like, I
good for
don't
my
know.
mental health.
Yeah, and then I quit.
Fair.
And then while I was working, and tell me if I'm going into too much.
No, you're going into
Detail.
a perfect amount of detail, actually. I'm like, how did you start tattooing? Well,
you know, I
actually,
was watching amateur porn.
Well, it
all day
all
long.
leads into right, like
yeah. No, go for it.
and then I
yeah.
found graffiti again.
Okay.
Because on my lunch break, I would kind of walk around and like pretend to be a tourist in hotels when I was working this job, and like just go swim in their pool, you know. Because it was like you're in Panama. If you're white, you're a tourist. So automatically, you walk into the hotel and they're like,
Yes.
"Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, the guy would come out and like bring me my towel, and I just go lounge at the
Oh,
pool
thank you very
for an
much.
hour.
Yeah.
And then I found the graph shop, and they already knew who I was. They're like, "Oh, you're the guy from Spain, from Barcelona." So
Oh,
no.
so I was like, "Fuck yeah! All right, here we go. Let's start painting." So they put me in touch with the best people right away, and then every weekend I would just start hammering Panama City
Undercover.
undercover.
Right.
But well, there actually you didn't need to be like they didn't give a fuck.
They're like paint.
Like
town red.
daytime, you could be painting billboards, standing on billboards, painting.
Or like
or-
for free.
For nobody cared because there's real problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like we'd paint in like super ghetto areas where like the locals were like, I don't know if we should be here. And I'd be like, come fuck it, like, just let's go. 10 minutes in and out. And I remember one time cops stopped us while painting, like not even to arrest us, just to be like, this is a really dangerous area. Like
You probably
you should
shouldn't be
leave.
here long.
We're like, okay, 5 minutes.
Just stay here. We'll be fine. If they stayed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just wait for us.
Wow.
And then some shit happened, family stuff, got some arguments, and then I ended up leaving there, moved to Berlin, stayed there for a bit,
what the fuck?
painted some more.
What did you do there?
Did amateur porn.
I was inspired.
While
you know?
doing graffiti.
Now I'm the one sending videos.
What's up, fuckers?
No, they could review my shit. You know? Like, whoa! Now I'm depressing a kid.
This is the circle of life.
How turns have tabled.
Yeah. So long story short, whatever. I did Berlin for a little bit, and then after that went back. Came back to Toronto, and my started roof. No, I was bar backing first, then started roofing. That was my last like real job.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend at the time, she like she was a big partier too. She'd go out all the time, and one morning, she's like, "Oh, I met this guy at the bar," and like, because I told her, like, since Spain, I had the idea in my head, kind of, where I was like, "Oh,
Tattoos.
yeah, it could be something."
Yeah.
So in Berlin and stuff, I was drawing way more too, kind of prepping for potentially becoming a tattoo artist. And once I came back, she was like, "Oh, there's a guy who knows a guy who might be looking for an apprentice, and here's his number."
Sick.
So in my head, I'm like, obviously this guy wants to fuck my girl, you know? Like, clearly,
Here,
You
give
know?
this to your boyfriend. Obviously, he's trying to fuck her.
yeah, like so I didn't call the guy for like 2 months, and I remember one morning waking up, like my hands were all fucking cut up and like smashed up. You'd step on nails every 3 days on the roof.
Yep.
And I remember laying in bed and just being like, man, this can't be my future, you know? Like a lot of roofers, they're hopped up on all sorts of drugs all the time because it's just like
Hell yeah, trades.
and that's like roofing is like one of, and I've done most trades like before, like whatever trade, almost you name it, I've done it, and that one is by far the worst.
The trashiest.
Yeah, and it's hard. Like it takes a toll, right? So
That's why you get fucked up.
yeah, exactly. And I would like I'd make like $900 a week and then spend $400 on Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I remember I had to buy a new futon once. It was $500, and I was in overdraft for like 3 months.
Yeah. So you're like, this can't be it.
No, this can't be it. So instead of calling the dude, I found out what the shop name was, and ended up calling them directly. And they're like, "Yeah, come by for a meeting. Bring your portfolio." When it was still like you went in and like showed them stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. And then 2 weeks after that, I ended up moving into the shop, and like super cool people. You know, like Steve was the guy that took me on. And he was just chill as fuck. Like I moved in, and basically like a month in, he was like, "Yeah, like whenever you feel like you're ready to tattoo, you could start." And I would still do things like I'd clean the place and stuff, right? So there was like an element of like a more traditional
Yeah, absolutely.
apprenticeship, but
how you
overall,
started.
man, it was sick. I just like a month in, I started tattooing, did some shitty tats, and then
Did some
Started
shitty
doing
tats.
less shitty tats.
yeah, a lot of them.
But it's cool because you can still see in your style. I mean, I see that you still do graffiti art of some sort, at least a little bit online, right?
Yeah, a lot more nowadays.
Which is good, but you also kind of incorporate that a little bit into your tattoos, I see, which is cool, right? Which I think makes you different than other people.
Right.
Because you actually have a graffiti background. You're not like, I'll do this little cool thing. You're like, no, I have a graffiti background, and I'm going to incorporate that in some of my stuff or some artsy aspects
Yeah.
rather than just not doing that. Do you know what I mean?
It's a real graph element
Yeah?
instead of the fake ones.
Yeah.
You know? So it's cool, nice. It's nice that people see that, because sometimes you feel like you don't have a style.
Oh, you do.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Like you're like you did Kirst's arm.
Well, you did both of these. This was
Yeah.
how long ago?
That was in the early. That was the
Yeah.
strictly realism stage.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
to
To artsy shit, as you can see, right? And this kind of,
Yeah,
You know?
just some fucked up artwork.
what do? I do some fucked up artwork.
Yeah. That's like when sometimes people ask me, they're like, "What's your style?" I'm like, "I don't know, like realism with some squiggly shit." And they're like,
With some squiggles.
"Okay, nice."
Yeah, but it's cool. So you've said that there's a difference between tattooers and tattoo artists.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I think there's tattooers. They know how to tattoo technically,
Yep.
but stylistically, they don't really try to add original
Yep.
value to it. You
Fair.
know, so it's like if somebody walks in and they're like, "Oh, I have this," and everybody is a tattooer when they start.
Yep.
Right, you're doing walk-ins. People come in, they're like, "Oh, I have this Green Bay Packers logo or whatever," and they hire you for the technical skills, not for the creativity. But I think it's important that at some point you kind of I guess I would almost say graduate.
Yeah.
From a tattooer to tattoo artist, which is where you start kind of infusing what you do with your own style and trying to push the boundaries and kind of create your own niche a little bit.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
fair. And is there something you could suggest to artists that are like, how do I do that? Or that you could see more, that you'd like to see more, even technically when it comes to like tattooing or composition wise, that you'd like to see in other artists more?
I'd say just try different things. Like do
Experiment?
Yeah, experiment with stuff that maybe I have this theory where I say the weirder the better,
It's fair.
right? Where you kind of push the boundaries and you just like try some fucked up shit that maybe it's not going to look good at the beginning, but at least you're doing something that's kind of different. Or
Yeah.
just switch it up. Like I used to do realism, strictly realism. On that one, like that was right when we started it.
Yeah.
And
then
then
it came back a year later and you changed it up.
yeah, and then eventually, well,
You
it
added
was
some squiggles.
like how it happened for me was I remember I did the Toronto convention, and in 3 days I did 5 lions.
Yeah, fucking people, bitches love
Good
lions.
boy, yo, sick lion. Can I? I'm like, okay, sweet. So it was the whole weekend. All I did was little fucking lion portraits.
I feel like that's like pretty expected of Nick's for sure.
It's horrible, but I remember at the end I was like, "This is." Almost had like a roofing moment again, where I was like, "This is it." Like I'm a photocopier. This is my future.
And it's hard to get people, especially like people that are just doing what they see. That's a sick lion. And try to getting these people to be like, let's do a lion
Try something.
and some.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
because-
Also convincing them to be like, you want more than this. You want more. And they're like, no, I don't. You know
No,
what I mean?
no, I want that. What you just did.
No, I want that. Yeah.
Okay, but I need money,
how do you
so I'll
work with
do it.
people that way then? Because that can be difficult.
But that's what kind of prompted the change, where I was like, all right, you know what? This is real, and this is where it comes into like just trying something different, because it was all realism, and then I was like, all right, fuck this. I'm just gonna start throwing thick lines over everything.
Fucking right.
So it was kind of
Just
like the opposite
without
of
them knowing?
realism.
Or
No,
just
no,
throw
no.
it in?
Like you kind of saw the
Oh, yeah.
progression, right? Like
Yeah.
introduced it a little bit more. You do one, and that's kind of how you have to do it. I think is like you introduce small little elements over time, and then you almost kind of have to get rid of your past work a little bit, so you don't have somebody scrolling back 4 years and it's like, oh, I want a line like this. It's like just eliminate the old shit that you don't want to do.
Yep.
So there's no point of reference for them for the old stuff.
It's true, and that really makes a big difference. Is what people see on the internet is what they should expect. Although sometimes I'm sure like you get emails and you're like, yeah, you do realism or something, and somebody will still be like, can you do this traditional piece? And you're like, what the fuck? But you could just say no.
I love
Right?
your work. Can you do color realism?
Absolutely not.
What?
Clearly don't know my work.
You
Yeah.
haven't looked at my work once.
Yeah, but so you have artists working underneath you.
Now, no.
No, you're private,
No, so I do private. Yeah, I'm out in Oakville now.
but you've done
I have.
subcontractor.
So I did the studio thing before where I think I had 4 artists
Mm-hmm.
working. And
You've obviously been a subcontractor as well as now a private studio.
yeah, so I've
What do you
done
prefer?
I like the private studio.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's just chill. You do whatever the fuck you want. We got TV, movies playing. You can have pets if you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just more chill. And people seem to like it because they come in and it's basically you just hang out. You're
Yeah.
hanging out for 6 hours and you leave with a cool tat.
Yep. It's very relaxed.
Just
It
chill.
would have been a lot, I think, to manage a lot of artists. You had 6 people working for you?
Yeah, 5 or 6. And I just realized it's like, man, most artists are fucking babies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all like, some of them have never had a real job.
Yeah.
So that there's no work ethic where it's like, you tell them we start at noon. They're like, yeah, but I want to start at 1. Like, I'm not asking you to come in at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Is that when you start noon?
I start at 1.
You start at 1? Yeah. Do you? Shut up.
Yeah, no, man, I like my routine. I go to the gym in the morning. I take care of my shit that has nothing to do with art in the
Yep.
morning, and then 1 o'clock till like 8, maybe I work,
Yep.
and then I still have time after.
So typically one long tattoo a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
So I mean, sometimes it's later, but I
What's
find
your latest night?
like 1 or 2
Oh.
maybe. So I mean, sometimes I'll do 2 in a day, right? Like if somebody comes, they bring a friend or something, and they want one also.
You'd be like, okay.
But most of the, like, I have this theory that if you want to implement any new habit, the best time to do it is in the morning. Because the morning is the only time where you have full control. There's nothing, like, if you need more time, just get up earlier. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So that's like, for me, like, I love going to the gym. I love fitness. So I'm like, the morning is dedicated to gym time. And until noon, like, nothing disturbs that. I don't start any, like, work or art stuff or, well, I guess anything other than gym stuff before noon.
So you're pretty passionate about this, like gym and tattooing is mainly your,
Yeah.
and then other artwork stuff.
Yeah, just, I mean, my life is basically fitness. I did some boxing before I threw my back out. So it's fitness and art is basically.
And you
what I
do other art other than the graffiti. You do some art too.
Yeah, canvas work, gallery
Okay, and
work.
you sell them.
Yeah, and more now actually. So I'm in a gallery up in Yorkville now, so that's kind of what I'm pushing.
Okay, are you making like enough out of it that, or is it mainly just a hobby thing?
No. Well, so I look at my career as 3 pillars.
Yep.
I have tattooing, which is big because I've worked on it the longest. Then you have murals and then gallery work.
Okay,
And they're the smaller ones, so that's kind of what I'm pushing now is
gallery work.
the smaller ones to kind of bring them up so they're at the same level.
Right.
What's the gallery in Oakville or Yorkville? Sorry,
It's called Mania.
Mania.
Yeah.
So, that's where people can
So
go.
it's a smaller one on Avenue Road. It's pretty new, but they're super cool and they just want to push like kind of contemporary street art type of
Cool.
stuff. So
That works well for your jam.
yeah, it's nice, man. So I have some stuff there. I'll be doing a show there in March. They want me to do a solo show, so
Cool.
It's
So you
cool.
just put all your paintings up and
boom, and just see where it goes.
for painting style, is that similar to your graffiti? Not the
Uh,
actual artwork wise, but is it that flavor of work like street? You said that's what
Dark.
they're.
Well, I mean, kind of. It has influences of graffiti for sure. Like I use spray paint,
Yeah. Okay.
right, for the most part. But that I mean, that's a whole other topic where street art versus graffiti, painting a mural, a legal wall to me isn't really graffiti.
Right.
Where
Has to be
graffiti-
tagged.
Yeah, like illegal is like, for me, graffiti is like a feeling, you know, of like the rush of you got to
Go
perform,
fast.
but you could get arrested
Yeah.
quick at night. You're
Got to be
you're-
good because you got to be fast.
Yeah, exactly. And you like you feel the pressure of like you could get caught, but you have to do good work.
And do you have somebody when you do that kind of stuff? Like, does typically every graffiti artist have somebody on the side, like a pigeon or whatever you'd call it, be like, "Hey, call the cop if you see one down the road."
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I don't do much of that anymore,
Yeah,
to be
fair.
honest. Illegals. Like when I travel, I'll do some stuff, paint some trains or something. But nowadays, it's more just murals,
Tattooing and
tattooing and murals and canvas work.
Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering because a lot of people do that extra side work, but I don't know how it's hard to do that to make money. Unless it's just a hobby, then it's just a hobby. But to try to have multiple revenue streams other than doing the side porn reviewing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
some
the- in the
OnlyFans or
evening.
something, you know?
Yeah, well, you could do OnlyFans. I see a lot of tattoo artists doing
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
I
Putting up
have
an
an OnlyFans, but I don't use it.
We'll blast. Oh well, if I was gonna say we'll blast it.
Next.
Let the bitches know. Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry. So the rest of the questions are actually about your OnlyFans. So.
Yeah. How big is your
kidding.
dick?
Okay. Well.
Like this.
well, you can see if you
See those thumbs.
Yeah.
see those thumbs. Anyways, so have you tattooed any celebrities?
Not really.
Not really.
Not like I tattooed one guy, a UFC fighter. That was cool. He's he actually unfortunately passed away
Oh,
like a year ago, so that's pretty sad.
that is sad.
But I'd say that's like the closest.
In Toronto, I assume like there's random people that just. I find some tattooers just are like they just tattoo a random like a shit ton of celebrities. I'm like, how the fuck does that even happen?
Yeah, but it's also where you are, right?
Location wise in Toronto.
Like if you're in a private studio somewhere, I feel like celebrities go to people where it's like, okay, this shop here is known, and then the celebrity goes in there and they'll pick the best realism artist and get like a cartoon line.
Do you feel
drawing.
like celebrities get good tattoos?
No shit, because they go to top realism artists to get a little fucking cartoon drawing.
Yeah, it's
Or it's like, well, this guy's good, so let me get this. It's like, well, yeah, but you have all this money,
Yeah.
but you don't understand that you should go to someone for their style instead
Yeah.
of just
Do a
how
bit of
good they
research.
sound.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the celebrity. I don't know who was doing this, but I was like, who is a celebrity that has just excellent tattoos across the board?
I don't think
I
it
can't think
exists. Oh.
Well, there's like the new movement now with like people going to like Ganga in LA.
Mm.
Getting put under.
Yeah,
Mm,
getting
going
put
in.
under
Yeah.
anesthesia.
You
Like
seen that?
Little
Yeah.
Uzi Vert's done that, and
Bunch
Tyga.
of people.
Tyga, yeah,
Post.
Tyga did, yeah, Post.
Yeah.
The 8-hour back piece.
Yeah.
By a
With
bunch of artists.
six artists at a time, yeah.
I wonder how much that is.
I don't even want
I've
to
heard
know.
upwards of 50.
Yeah.
50,000?
Oh, yeah. 'cause
session?
You're paying for the anesthesia and then like the
You don't
nursing
finish it in
and-
that
And that
session?
amount of artists.
Yeah.
Well, it's like celebrity status shit too,
Yeah.
right? Where
Yeah.
it's like you just crank the
Fitting.
price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Crank it up. But I wind it up. I just can't imagine. I wind it up. I just can't imagine. Oh, man. I forgot what I was going to say now. All I can think of is
Celebrities. and-
Oh, yeah, I don't know. But oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I can't imagine having to work even with a back piece. I've never really done like a collab on somebody on the same piece. But I imagine like
At the
tight.
same time.
Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine 6 people on a back.
yeah, it doesn't
Ew.
sound fun at all.
We're just breathing the same hot air. We're just like,
Let's all breathe on this back.
yeah, it's just weird.
Anybody have any gum here? Let's,
And do you
let's
do
go.
like do you do like a rotation? Do you be like, okay, switch, or is it everybody's got their own? Like you might be able to see on the back.
Well, you know what's weird too? It's like to go back to like tattooists and tattoo artists. At that point, you almost go back to being a tattooist, where you're only hired for your technical skill.
Yeah.
Like, all right, boom, you have this little section. You're gonna hammer this out.
Yep.
Hurry the fuck up, because my section is coming close to yours.
Yeah, we're gonna imagine. Well, I mean, if somebody was like, you're gonna pay you like $5,000 or something, I'd do it.
Give me some fucking elbow room. Let's go.
Yeah, you're a big dude too.
I
That'd be real
know.
tough for you.
I need one side.
Yeah, man spreading.
I want to be paid more.
Yeah, for the amount of space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I can't imagine having to, share a space with somebody as large as you. Imagine that'd be uncomfortable.
I usually
Yeah.
sit on that side. when there's
Oh, really?
something
Well,
to
come
go.
join me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We got,
too
we
late.
got
Good.
room.
Too late now.
I
It
do-
would
I
have
do-
been a
I
real
do-
squishy
He's
couch.
established.
I do like to spread out though.
Yeah.
It would have been a
Yeah,
really
comfy.
squishy couch.
Start sitting like this.
Do whatever you want. It's your podcast.
Yeah.
It's about you.
With tarps off.
Would you? Okay, it's ironic because the other day I asked if there's a lot of tattooers who like tattoo with no shirt. Would you rather tattoo with no shirt or with a snowsuit on? I feel like dudes.
I would say no shirt. For
Yeah,
sure.
100%. Somebody did say snowsuit. What about you?
Who the what?
Oh, me?
Why would
Yeah,
you
well, if
pick
you
a
were to tattoo
snowsuit?
either
She
no
ran
shirt
cold.
or a snowsuit,
Like, am I still allowed to wear like a bra, or is it like
for sure.
full
Yeah,
t-
not
okay.
tits out.
Oh yeah, no, I
Not the
get that.
girls.
That's fine.
Right.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
pick that any day.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you do tattoo like that?
Even just sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
I go out basically dressed like that sometimes.
No, that's
There you
different than your
go.
working environment.
Start
though,
implement. Well, how would they feel about it here? Would they be cool with that?
Right? No, they'd be weird about it, I'm sure. There's like a lot of artists though, right? Like there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's 10 of us.
5 in the back, and then but this one's everybody's kind of
Yeah.
separated.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think they would say anything though. If I was like, I
Try
mean,
it.
my tits out.
See what happens.
Should I do it? Tits out?
Just turns into a nudist shop. Like, oh yeah, that
You're,
place. They're all
you're
naked
going
all the
against
time.
my rights.
A little
Yeah.
bit weird, but kind of cool at the same time.
Yeah, well, I'd be like, I'm bringing you business. No,
Yeah.
I'll try
You
it.
see
I'll
this? Business.
business, tits out. Yeah,
Tits out for the boys.
Not for,
for the
her.
boys. Yeah, that'd be the worst kind of attention. I'd be like, oh fuck.
Stop looking at me.
Yeah, there's a
Creep.
bunch of lesbians that are coming through, just being like, that's never gonna happen.
Hey.
Yeah, but so you're in your private studio, and that's in Toronto,
In Oakville.
in Oakville. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. I was in Toronto until 2 months ago. 3 months ago.
Okay. Why Oakville?
No reason.
Okay.
I just needed more space. Like that was like I had a cool apartment downtown. It was
Okay.
right at like King and Bathurst, like the fucking right in the shit of everything, you know,
Okay.
which
That-
was fun
was it?
for a bachelor. You're going out. There's babes everywhere. There's bars. Like it was a cool
Babes and
place for
bars.
2 years. Babes and bars, bro. You know.
Yeah.
And
But that just got old.
well, and then I went to Miami in December.
For what?
I know.
Everywhere, dude.
I'm
You're
all
just-
over the place.
You
You-
know.
you only
Did
know
you
half
tattoo
of
there?
it.
Have you tattooed and traveled?
I did Europe a bunch of times.
A bunch of
actually, yeah,
times.
top to bottom, twice in 1 year, actually. So I started in Germany and just went ding, ding, ding,
You ever
ding,
just
all
like
the way
meet
down.
someone and you're like, oh yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You feel like I'm like, what am I fucking doing with my life? When there's people who are just like, yeah, so anyways, I did top to bottom Europe twice. So.
In 1 year.
1 year.
Australia,
Babes
New
and
York.
bars, man.
Babes and bars, bro.
Do whatever you want. So is it expensive though? Or is it like draining to do that? Or are you like every artist should do that? Go travel and tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking sweet. You meet so many people, you learn different things. Traveling in general, I think, is awesome.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm coming from a man's perspective where
Yeah.
I say like traveling alone is the shit.
Yeah.
Because I think you meet different people when you're alone as opposed to like if you're going with your partner or whatever. Because then you're a group already and you get invited to less things
Yep.
as opposed to being alone. But having said that, me as a 6'7" dude, I don't really have to worry about getting kidnapped
Heavily
or something.
tattooed too.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're in less danger
yeah.
a little bit.
Have you seen this guy? You're not kidnapping me.
Yeah, well.
If anything, I'm kidnapping you.
This
Get
is
in the
my
van.
new
No,
side
you get in the van.
I'm done reviewing porn. I'm kidnapping people.
Yeah.
I'm
All of a sudden,
kidnapping.
it's the bang bus.
Bang buzz. That's, yeah, it's your own channel, and you could probably
Yeah.
probably exist. I think that does exist.
Oh, that is 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
Jay, that's
Pre-established.
100% a thing.
It is pre-established 100%.
Yeah. No,
So,
but
what were you doing in Miami? Sorry.
just to follow up on traveling, yes, I think everybody should travel
Cool.
and tattoo. Just different shops, you meet wicked people, see
Where's your
different
favorite place
perspectives.
that you've done?
I don't know. Switzerland was cool. It was kind of nice to go back, you know, but this time with purpose, kind of, and like, I don't know, just nice people.
Good people.
Yeah, and the money's decent too there.
Oh, yeah?
Spain, not so much. Germany's really good too. Like they love their like black work shit, kind of weird, trendy, trash black work stuff. So that was cool.
Trendy trash.
Like you ever seen those like German tattoos where it's just like squig? What do they call it?
Trash polka.
This what the fuck's it called? Sigilism,
I have no idea.
something.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
It's not
basically,
the one where it's like the black work where they literally just do it out of pain, right? Like just to be like get his
well,
tattooed.
that's Germany too.
that. What is that called?
The Brutal Black Project.
Ah, okay.
Right, so they like fucked up shit. So it's kind of like if you go with some weird style, they're like, man, that's amazing. Yeah, let's do it.
Come on down.
Yeah. So, yes, and then Miami.
Yes.
So Miami, there's Art Basel down there. I don't know if you heard of it.
No.
It's like a huge art festival where like all the celebrities go, some of the best graffiti artists in the world. Everybody just paints huge walls, and I went down there because I had a job. I was painting the inside of a store that was opening, and I go down there, and it was like I walk around a little bit, and I bump into a buddy of mine that's from Toronto.
Huh.
He writes Bacon. He was like a fucking legend. Like
What's that?
such a good, like the word he writes is bacon. So I bump into him. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's painting this huge wall. And then he got me on the wall and kind of just helped them out a little bit. And then when I came back, I just realized, I'm like, man, if I want to pursue like art outside of tattooing, I need space, right? Like I need like a studio space where I could
Yeah.
fuck around and
Private
paint.
studio.
Well, more so the garage. Like tattooing, you could do in any room basically.
Yeah.
But if you want to spray paint, like you need somewhere where there's a bit of airflow and you could kind of make a mess, which downtown I couldn't really do. So as soon as I got back, I put in my notice. I'm like, yeah, I gotta move.
Cool.
That's why.
Spontaneous. Seem a little bit spontaneous.
Spontaneous, baby. You
That's
just,
fun.
just going with it. You know? Yeah.
100%. Oh, let's see. What are we at? 50. Holy Holy tits, my
50
man.
minutes already?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I
yeah.
talk too much. Just
No,
tell
that
me,
was
tell me to
excellent.
shut up.
No.
Yeah.
This is fucking
Yeah,
perfect.
so, okay, Cole's notes.
Yeah.
Traveling good,
Don't
yes.
worry, we're gonna trim like 50% of it. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna hit you with some would you rather's. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's go.
Would you rather tattoo your own dick or would you rather tattoo someone else's?
Probably someone else's. I don't really want my dick tattooed.
No.
No, too painful
yeah.
or
Well, it's
doesn't-
like,
aesthetically?
well, I kind of like the way my dick looks.
Okay, the way it is. OnlyFans.
The way it is, OnlyFans.
Just kidding.
Sign up now. You know, and it's the pain.
Watch me wind it up.
Yeah. Like the pain of that. I'm like, do I really want to tattoo dicks in general?
Well,
No, but
maybe that's
Have
what
you?
would help your OnlyFans.
yeah, maybe I could be the guy with the tattooed dick or something.
Yeah, man.
I'm pretty sure that probably exists.
Maybe there's a market for it. Maybe there's a market.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's
You never know.
It's like
I like
Colbrand
mine.
said. Like, he doubts that there's any woman ever that's ever stated the word that's a solid dick tattoo.
Because, well, dicks look kind of weird as is.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So it's like nobody's going to, like, look at a dick and be like, wow, what a great piece of art.
Pull it apart. and
Yeah.
stretch it.
Cool. Oh, you're not circumcised? Hold on, let me stretch that to get the full,
Let me see.
What's up with
you know?
Didn't you say you were gonna do a dick tattoo soon?
Somebody, no, I
Is
don't
that a
know. He's a bit
portrait?
of an alcoholic who asked me.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think he was sober when he's messaging me about
Okay,
it.
well, so maybe
Because
not.
he asked me, and then he's like, "I was up for 5 days." I'm like, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't do
Maybe
that."
yeah,
would be a
5-day
hard dick
bender
to tattoo.
decision.
After 5-day bender, you,
Is that a pun?
no, it probably wouldn't
No,
be
a
hard.
5-day bender is probably not working.
No.
That's what I mean. But he said that would be a hard
Here,
dick to
take
tattoo.
some more Cialis. Let's go.
Yeah, you need to, I think, right?
Snort it.
Is that how that works?
He's a good gas station.
Yeah.
Even worse.
It said guaranteed pleasure, but it's not working for some reason.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you'd have to, right? To take some sort of Viagra, Cialis to be
Okay, the
able
way
to.
I know somebody who tattooed one, and they said it has to be hard to stencil it than soft to tattoo it. We talked. I mean,
Oh, because you'd stretch.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was in art school, there was a guy, an older dude, like I was 19, I think he was like 30 maybe, like one of those dudes that came back to school. And he's like, oh yeah, I tattooed the head of my dick. He's like, I put a rose on the head of my dick. So if me and my girlfriend are out, I could say, hey babe, do you want to go home and water the plants?
Just for that purpose?
I was gonna say, just for that purpose alone, yeah.
Just so I can
Yeah,
sneakily
I
be
wouldn't
like,
want
you
to
want
endure
some?
that, honestly.
Rose just makes it look like you got a venereal disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, buddy.
Probably like squiggly as shit. I can't. It's not that they're not. As far as I know, they're not that big, right? It's not a lot of space to. Oh, that would hurt so bad.
Yeah,
Want to hit
fuck
the next
that.
one?
No, you can do it.
I'm not doing that.
I don't know how to read one of those words. You're writing the message.
Fuck, man. Okay. Well, would you rather have every one of your clients come in be able to either read your thoughts or be able to look through your internet browser? In general. I guess for your thoughts it'd be that day, but your internet browser would be able to see your
Probably my thoughts.
of that.
Not
day.
that I have like a crazy fucked up browser, but I feel like I generally don't have like
A lot going on.
weird.
in there?
No, there's a lot of stuff going on, but there's never any like bad, like anything where if they saw what I was thinking, where it would turn them off in some way.
Yeah. You
Maybe
feel
it's like,
genuine
oh,
about your
Like
thoughts.
like if I give you a tattoo and I think it looks shit where we put it, I'm gonna tell you.
Fair.
You know, so there isn't really any. Maybe it was like, oh man,
gotta fuck that up.
I should have slept a little bit more last night or something. Or
Oh.
I guess that would be.
I wish
like
I
the
didn't take the Cialis before.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't stop being hard.
Yeah, well.
Just like a kitchen towel.
Wonder what it looked
Has
like
that
with a
ever
rose on the
happened?
head.
Has that ever happened? I don't know. I'm assuming for some male tattooers, I guess that's a thing, right? But has that ever happened to you? Just being like, oh, fuck.
Well, you just get boners randomly.
When you're,
A narb.
like, tattooing. Like,
No, for
trying
no
to do
reason,
a
not-
job
Not
and
really.
then...
No, but
never
it's
happened?
like I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
Oh, thank God. That'd be so fucking stressful.
You answer that question.
Have you ever gotten a boner while tattooing?
All the fucking time, man. Yeah, man. It's
Just-
rough. I'm feeling real slippery right now.
Yeah.
Lady boner. Falling off my chair. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah. That would be a hard problem to have.
Fantastic.
When it comes to if being able to read the thoughts, or looking at my internet browser, internet browsers doesn't really stress me out. I think internet browser, I don't know.
Both of mine are a terrifying place.
Yeah, I bet. Right now,
Neither of them.
that's fair. What are you fucking researching, man?
Well,
All
things.
sorts of fucked up porn,
No,
probably.
no,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no, no.
See?
Fucked
I
up
should
porn?
be on the other side of that,
No,
moderating it.
Nothing I can talk about right now. But
Okay.
yeah.
So which one? You gotta pick one. No, you be able to read your
BBC.
thoughts. Every client that you have.
Oh no. No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is.
You know, BBC, big black
Big
cock.
black cock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, no.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
Take that out.
No.
No, keeping it in.
No. Okay.
Is that where you're
Clip this
researching?
out.
BBC?
No, you know what happened last week? I was
Oh,
looking up.
yeah.
I was looking up the repercussions of all that shit. I told you about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That I was
okay.
supposed to go see in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've been
true.
googling about recently.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's
Trying to
not
look
bad.
up all that shit.
But
or
even
where I'm just
like,
looking up what are the repercussions, like and
Yeah.
penalties and all that.
Yeah.
but even shit on the phone. Like I notice, like sometimes I'll have like references that I've saved where it's like porn
that too.
related, kind of, right?
Oh, you do
Where-
porn related tattoos?
Well, if you need like a certain face of a portrait or something,
And
right?
they're like, whatever.
So I
Is
have that
what you're
saved, and
researching?
sometimes I'll be showing people like, they're like, oh, well, you do tattoos, and I'm like scrolling through, and it's like a girl sucking dick. I'm like, whoop. It's a reference, I swear. You know, and they're like, okay, yeah,
Yes,
I
yeah.
believe you.
Yeah.
Hey,
No.
have you done like sexual, like, because that's kind of like a market, like a little market. Like some people really are doing that. Have you done sexually related content
Not
during
really.
tattoos? Because UPC people get like jizzy face chicks. I don't know how else to say it. Or girls sucking dick. Would you-
The old jizzy face.
The old jizzy. You know, that's fucking people are doing it. Or the ball gag. You know what I mean?
Jizzy,
I think I would enjoy
yeah.
doing a ball. I probably enjoy doing any of those, to be honest.
But it takes the right person for
Why
that.
not? To
Like
get
those-
it, tattoo?
Yeah,
For
you know what I
sure.
mean? Like those are hard ones.
Yeah,
Downstairs.
actually, I think we're
Yeah,
ready
that's
to
it.
rock. We're done.
Yeah, 50.
That's it?
Yeah, dude.
What
we have
else you got?
an
Lay it on
hour.
me.
Well,
Come on.
fuck. All right. Well, let's hit this real quick. Oh, you did go to China and do some making cartridges?
So we went with FYT, and they showed me how it was made, kind of like the factory and stuff.
Yep.
And they're coming out with a new machine, so they kind of wanted some input on the machine, which is cool.
Yeah, it is
Like,
cool.
oh my
How was
God.
that? You went all the way to China for that?
You value my opinion. Wow.
So nice.
You know?
Yeah,
It was
that'd be-
cool. Like China is something else.
Yeah, my cousin's there right now.
Holy fuck! Like
it's
it's
a whole
like,
different world.
and I've been to a lot of places, but that was like culture shock where they don't understand you, like they don't even understand sign language. Like I was in a cab and I'm like, okay, go straight and make a right, and he's like cool, but
Culture shock.
yeah, just very different.
But was it cool to go to a warehouse and see how
Yeah.
needles were made?
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
I saw that and I was like, that's really interesting. to be
Because
able
you
to go do
see
that.
it, like you open, and I already knew them kind of inside out, anyways,
Yeah.
right? Just from using them all the time. So it was cool. Like I knew what's what, the membrane, shit like that, right? I knew kind of how they're made already, but it was cool to see actual steps of like, and FYT. I love those guys. Like they're just
Shout
so
out
Crew,
cool.
yeah.
Just
Friendly.
shout out to FYT. You're the
Yeah.
best. I
I
love
think
you.
we're gonna get them on here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna try to anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So do they
they're the
just what?
best.
Like they'll just be like, yeah, come on to the warehouse and we'll just do like we'll show you what's going on.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah. I
Like,
didn't know
it,
you
like
could
it,
just do
it's
that.
not like a hey open door policy.
No,
Everybody
yeah,
come
but
in, right?
the
But
brand who's
Yeah.
obviously.
hey,
Hey, you do that
homeless
though.
guy, come in here.
That's fair. Imagine. I just want to see
Take
what's
some
going
needles. Oh no, these aren't the ones you want.
on. Yeah. You do the open door thing though. You have people. You've done that before, where you just invite people to
did an
come and
event.
watch your work.
Yeah, I did a little seminar. I might do that again. Actually, it's
Yeah?
cool because some people like learning. I think there is also, it's weird, right? Like I put it on and like, I don't know, 15, 20 people signed up for it and then maybe like 7 showed up. So I think there is a little bit of like the ego thing also, where it's like, well, if I go to this guy's seminar, then I admit that I'm worse. Where it's like, bro,
No,
you could just
you can al-
learn.
Yeah,
just learn,
exactly.
get
You know what I
better.
mean?
Also, that is it's okay to not be as good as someone, or
Yeah,
to
or
be
not-
like, I just want to see how you do it.
I'm not even saying I'm better, but it's just like just it's maybe I have like one little nugget
Yeah.
of knowledge that could help you in some way where you're already good, but maybe it can help you in some way.
That's one thing I will say about getting tattooed by you that I've always appreciated is like if you ask you like a question, like you will sit there and actually like explain what you're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I found
Yeah, you're
that
not
very
gatekeeping.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Information to
it's,
other
I
artists.
mean, why not, right? Like, when I was coming up, people were pretty helpful, right? So it's kind of like I like showing people how I do things, because it's not like I'm not worried that it's like, oh my God, now this person knows what I know. All of a sudden I have no clients. And that's where being a tattoo artist comes in. Or if you're that, you never have to worry that you're going to run out of clients because somebody learns your technique, because you just elevate your creative style.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll always be the first to do it. Maybe people copy you, which is fine, whatever, and then you just elevate and do something else.
Yeah, having your own niche.
Yeah. And it pushes you, right? So
Yeah, well, and then, you know, I think having people come in and check you out and having your own niche, I don't think they're going to steal that, but I just think maybe it'll inspire them to be able to be like, oh, this is how he does it. In general,
Yeah.
I think sharing that information and doing seminars is really positive, even if they're not as good. But yeah, you're right. Everybody has their little tidbits of information that they, like I said, I've learned from random information, from even getting tattooed, like you said, just like learn information. So people could even get tattooed to get that information. But
Yeah.
so you were going to do those drop-ins again?
at some point, maybe in the winter. Yeah,
Cool.
because it was cool. It was
You
fun.
post that on your page? Keep
I will, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Generally, everything makes it on my page.
Cool. Sweet.
Sometimes too much. Dun, dun.
Not enough.
Whoops.
What are we at?
1 hour.
Are we
Okay,
good?
On the
Yeah.
nose?
On the
Okay, well, thank
nose.
you
Time
for coming all
flies.
the way out here. I appreciate that and the drive, and you did
big
excellent.
time.
You're a great talker.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I look forward to having you on again.
Thanks for caring about what's in here.
We do care. There's so many more
This is a
things to
safe
learn, I'm sure.
space.
Yeah. It's
You're a
safe
good
space.
talker. Like, you need to shut the fuck up sometimes.
No, literally. I would. That's all I was like. Everybody, shut
Oh,
the
you gonna
fuck
do
up.
an outro? Oh, that's it.
Goodbye.
Okay. Hang on.